Good morning. Welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy. I hope you're doing well today. So I wanted to go more into this book that I've been reading that I recommend everybody reads it on. You can listen to it on Audible, and you have a trial membership on Audible. You can get it for free for a couple weeks, and then you can listen to this book. It's called The Pleiadian Code 1, The Great Soul Rescue by Eva Marquez. And I finished this book last night, and it is super good. So I just want to run through a few things that I thought were interesting. Atlantis is Pleiadian. What happened with Atlantis was that there was it's basically goes back to the fundamentals of dark and light and twin flames. So there was this princess that was from Sirius. I think she was from Sirius. And she had fell in love with this man named Eros, who was originally, he just lost himself. He chose the dark path, and he was sleepwalking pretty much. So they ended up coming together and bringing out the best in each other, but it wasn't easy. But they started Atlantis. So Atlantis was like the yin and yang symbol, okay? So Atlantis was destroyed. Okay, so when Atlantis destroyed, it caused a rip. It caused a rip in the dimensions. And so lower frequency dimensional beings from the second dimension were able to get into the third dimension. Okay, so then these people that were here, these Atlantean people that were left, I mean, this was a massive problem. The whole planet's grid was broke. They had no way of communication, anything. So as time progressed, they were trying to get rid of all of these two-dimensional souls that were inhabiting these forms, these human forms, because it was like possessions. So they set up these type of temples, and these temples had like an arch building, kind of like these mosques and stuff, and then they'd have a doorway in the middle. And these people would have to, after they did this hygiene with, you know, the sacred bathing and all this stuff, they would come through these temples. They'd have to pass through this doorway. When they came through the front and the back, there were like crystals and things that were there. They used crystal technology. And they would exorcise these lower dimensional souls out of these bodies that were here. Because they were trying to get everything right. But it was just like an endless battle. And then this is how you get through the witch trials and all this stuff. This was all these Atlantean souls. They were coming back, trying to bring back the knowledge to wake the people up because they were asleep. They lost their bicameral mind. The bicameral mind fractured when Atlantis fell. The earth grid fractured. Everything fractured. Communication was cut off. So these Pleiadian beings, basically, this is their Atlantis. This Atlantis was founded by Divine Feminine, which she was a princess from Sirius. So we're right about that. And that this is how all this evil got onto our planet, was because when Atlantis fell, it fractured the dimensions. So it caused a tear. So the second dimension was able to get into the first. So basically, yeah, like it was a freaking hell on Earth, for real. So the reason that things are happening the way they are now is because we're in what's called a stellar activation cycle. And so we can get a lot of help from these other dimensions because the stargates have been everything has been taken over by this group, this Belial group. Just like all the stuff that's going on right now, you know, that's definitely animalistic in nature. It's because they're animals. This is why they're considered organic material. They can't get off of here without help. See, and so, you know, and we got to have help too. This is why we have to tune in our bodies, and we have to start looking at everything. I mean, we have to be super careful, and we have to start using the fire codes. And that was true, that the Tower of Babel was all about breaking up human beings from one collective into many and scrambling their languages. So they forgot the fire words, and they forgot how to read the symbols. But see, the Pleiadian beings, they built all this stuff into the buildings. You know, they built it into the architecture. That way, it would wake us up when the time we got to a stellar activation cycle. where we could start getting some of the stuff because our DNA has been rewired. And see, this is why a lot of these family members kept marrying each other, is because they were Atlantean, and they were trying to keep the genetic markers, because unless you had it genetic and it wasn't tinkered with, you couldn't channel it in. And see, they're trying to channel it all in, but nobody can get it because we're toxed out and pharmaceuticaled out and everything. I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I'm gonna hold it in. So anyway, I'm sorry. My allergies are inflamed today. So this is why we have to renounce all these blood oaths and all of these things, is because these people had contracts on their souls that were signed in blood. And they're working for these lower dimensional beings. So all this stuff has to be renounced. And so I'm going to write down the renouncement. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to read the whole thing out. So if you're not able to get the book or whatever, you can still do the renouncement, because we all need to know this stuff, and everybody shouldn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get it, right? And, you know, we got to support each other. Like, that's the one thing that always comes to me when I first started gardening, is that I would put something in the ground and I'd have to get a little support stick, and I'd hear a voice say, we all need support. Everything needs support, just like the mother. So with that, when you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future, all at the same time. Let's get outside today, put your feet in the grass, set your intentions. It's going to be a beautiful day, and you need to give thanks to our Heavenly Father and our Divine Mother, Mother Earth. So with that, I'll be back on another one so we can get this renouncement done, and everybody can get on the road to learning and remembering, right? So I hope to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching Sacred Insight. Bye-bye.